Okay, so we're doing an experiment to study the carbon cycle, and it's basically a game, right? What do you think is the object of this game? Oh, this is Oscar. Say hello.
You
Alright.
have to, I'm guessing that roll the dice and we just roll each number that we get. I guess we predict after we roll. I guess that's how much we get.
Okay, well, okay, so basically, you're close. When you get a number, say we're gonna start as a molecule of carbon, and where does it say to start? Where are you now, as a beginning?
Also called sources.
We're gonna
and
imagine that you're a carbon molecule.
stuff. Okay.
So you begin where?
No carbon type.
Carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So you're gonna pretend that you're a carbon in the carbon dioxide molecule floating in the air, in the atmosphere. Then you're gonna roll the dice. How many times?
One. Oh,
You will roll the dice
12 times.
12 times.
Playing
And
dice.
every time, depending on the number you roll, you're gonna move from the atmosphere to the next step, and then from.
Alright.
So that way, what are you seeing really? What are you seeing? The movement of what?
Other carbon
Of the carbon in the carbon
and the atmosphere.
cycle.
Oh, cycle.
In the carbon cycle. It can be in the
Okay.
atmosphere, it can be inside an animal, it can be in the soil, it can be whatever it can be. We're gonna see where the carbon molecule is gonna pop up.
We have to
Okay?
record these?
No, you're making me nervous. Okay.
No, I just don't like being recorded.
Sorry. Okay,
don't
so
know.
we're gonna play the game. I'll roll the dice first, and then you'll roll, and we'll see. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not gonna have the camera on you. We'll just play it together. Okay. So you wanna start first?
You started already.
No, go ahead. You can start first. Good. So you're going to number 2. So number 2 takes you where? If you started in the atmosphere, you're in the atmosphere, right?
Yes.
Where's number 2 gonna take you?
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, so you need to go to a plant. Now a plant, a leaf, pulled you up to do photosynthesis. Okay, so what are you gonna fill out here? Roll number 1. Where did your station stop?
2.
Well, that's where you started. So where did
Oh.
you start? You started as CO2 in the
Oh, okay.
atmosphere, right? And then you're gonna say what happened and where did you end up. So what
And
happened?
CO2 and I just put a slash.
In the atmosphere, yeah, you can do slash, parentheses, whatever you like. As long as you understand, okay? Perfect. Okay, so what happened to you?
Landed on the photosynthesis.
Okay, so you were taken by a plant for
Yeah.
photosynthesis. Okay, you can write that down. Good. So, and your destination then will be where? Where do you end up?
2.
In the plant, right?
Oh, in the plant.
Probably. Where in the plant does photosynthesis happen?
And the
Do you remember doing the photosynthesis lab before? What did we do? Where does it happen?
carbon dioxide.
No, what is this? Which part of the plant is this? What's this?
But this
Yeah, what is that? What is this called, this whole thing?
leaf.
A leaf. That's where photosynthesis happens. Remember when we got the leaf and we did the experiment for photosynthesis?
Yeah.
Okay, that's because photosynthesis happens in the leaves because that green substance, the chlorophyll, is the one that takes the energy from the sun and converts it to energy that will help out the reaction. Okay? So, let me roll. I'm gonna roll and see what happens to you next. So now you're inside the plant.
I'll put this at the plant.
Destination is inside the plant. I'm gonna roll. I roll 3. So let's go to the plant. We're inside the plant. What happens to me now?
Go to an animal.
I'm gonna.
leaves and
I was
berries.
eaten by an animal. Okay, so the leaves and berries that the plant actually produced contain my carbon molecule, and I was eaten. So I was eaten by an animal. So, okay. So I was a leaf and a berry, and I was eaten by an animal, and now I'm inside the animal.
You're inside the animal, right?
Mm-hmm. Good. Now it's your turn to roll the dice. Let's go to the animal page and see where's the animal page. Alright, so we're on the animal page now. You gonna roll? Okay, you get number 4. What happens to you?
Stay an animal if you are eaten by a predator.
Okay, so an animal was eaten by another animal, basically. Okay, so we're gonna stay an animal, but you're gonna write that here in your table now.
Roll 3.
Yeah, thanks for keeping me in animals.
Oh, I put it right?
Okay, yeah. You started in an animal, and you stayed in an animal because it was eaten. No, that's
No,
what happened
my bad.
here. So stay. Remember, it was stayed an animal because you were eaten by a predator. So now you're still where?
In the animal.
Animal. Okay. Awesome. Okay, my turn.
What, soil?
We're gonna stay in animal because we're still in animal, right? Oh, I rolled again. I'm still in animal, so okay.
You put this
Well,
in.
yeah, you can put this in. Just put equal, equal, equal. That means the same thing happened.
Do I just put
Yeah,
equal?
just put equal. No, like equal signs. You know
Oh,
how to
okay.
do like this?
Okay.
Equal signs. Okay.
Like this?
Yeah, same thing. All right. So now next, let's go back to animals. Try to roll a different number if you want to roll up here. Cool roll. Okay. So we're going to where? Back to the atmospheres.
Yeah.
What happened? We closed the what?
The carbon cycle?
The cycle, right? And we're still in number 5 or something. Where are we? What number are we in? We're
5.
number 5, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. You see how the carbon moved? It moved from the atmosphere to a plant to an animal, then went back to the atmosphere. But that's not the end of the road. We're gonna keep rolling. But go ahead and
Back
tell
to
me what
atmosphere.
happened. You started where?
I started in the predator.
In a predator. Good. And then what
into
happened?
The atmosphere.
In the atmosphere. How do you think it got from the predator to the atmosphere? You wanna read on that?
The animal got consumed, you respired breath, and you out as carbon dioxide.
There you go. So when animals breathe out, we breathe out carbon dioxide. So the carbon goes
When
back to the
animal breathe out,
atmosphere.
you said?
Yeah. When we breathe out, don't we breathe carbon dioxide?
I guess.
Right? We breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. Do you know what happens inside of us that causes this to happen?
No.
Okay, that's respiration. We break down the sugars that we have, or the foods that we have, to make energy, and as one of the products of that is carbon dioxide, and then we breathe it back out. Okay? All right, so go ahead and say what happened. The animal breathed us out. You can write it in your own words. You don't have to say like transpired.
Destination is
The atmosphere again. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to continue with the experiment, but I will stop the recording right now. Thank you so much, Oscar.